Deshaun Bishop added 8 pounds. 8 pounds. Now, I'm only going to ask you if it's hot, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com, I'm only going to ask you if it's a big deal. In other words, there were some guys that probably gained 2 or 3 pounds. Aaron Carter probably gained 2 pounds, but he didn't really have to have it. These are big deals. Deshaun Bishop added 8 pounds. Hot or cold?
Yes. And yes, we were talking about roster updates and Tennessee players and the changes in their weight. And running back Deshaun Bishop has added indeed 8 pounds. He is now to 208 pounds, according to my understanding.
Where do you...
Go ahead. Sorry, wrong one.
That's hot.
I'm with you. I'm on your side. I think actually adding 8 pounds as a running back is a big deal. Deshaun Bishop is a hard runner, and I thought he wasn't necessarily the most athletic. So I don't know if there's actually I don't think there's a lot of speed to lose there. So I think Deshaun Bishop, by putting on 8 pounds, allows him, and this is the big one, Dave, it allows him to be a lot more effective in pass pro, which was an issue for him last year. So I think Deshaun Bishop adding 8 pounds is actually kind of huge, honestly.
I hope you're right for Tennessee standpoint and the starting quarterback standpoint, but to me that looked like a neck up thing, pass pro. I hope I'm wrong, but you've got to want it and you've got to have the body. Now maybe one leads to another, but I hope you're right for the quarterback's standpoint, for Tennessee standpoint. I'm not so sure that he either gets it, and sometimes you can be timid because you're not sure where to go or who to block. But
And it was his first year really being an impactful player last year too. You got to give him a break on that.
Absolutely. So if you're uncertain who to go after, you're going to look like you don't like pass pro. That's just a fact. All right, this next one is a little bit of a head scratcher to me. It's Lance Hurd losing 10 pounds. Hot or cold? Brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. Hot or cold?
Yeah, Lance Hurd losing 10 pounds. I mean, I think in a positive way, Dave. Again, I think this is kind of a big deal. Remember, there was talk last year, particularly in the first half of the season when he had that sprained ankle, that he looked like he moved too slow. I think this was by design. Heupel likes his tackles to be a little slimmer. Now, he allowed Darnell Wright to be gigantic because Darnell Wright was a freak. Like, Darnell Wright could do backflips at 330 pounds. But for the most part, I think if Heupel has to choose between size or slenderness and speed, he's going for the speed at the tackle position because he wants to run his tempo. And the jobs of tackles more than anything is it's not necessarily to maintain blocks. It's to force edge rushers to a certain position so the quarterback can just get rid of the ball in time. And
remember this, they're isolated a lot because Tennessee likes to send their tight ends into downfield into the secondary to try to get open from a passing standpoint. So I can't remember the last time that I've seen one of Tennessee's offensive tackles helped by a tight end and a normal middle down and distance. So you better be athletic. You talked me into this one.
That's hot.
I actually thought that he may need a reconfiguring of weight, maybe lose 10 pounds of fat, add 10 pounds of muscle. But I'll roll with you on this one. What weight is he at now?
Lance Hurd now is officially at 330 pounds. He was at 340 last year, which I think is just too big to play tackle.
I agree. 340 is too heavy. I didn't realize he was that big. Jeremiah Hurd added 13 pounds.
Yes, Jeremiah Hurd is part of some people think is going to be the second part of the 2 deep depth chart, which you need in your offensive line. And he is now up to 333 pounds. I think that allows him to be a lot more of an effective player than he was last year. It's the reverse of Lance Hurd. They don't expect him to consistently run tempo, but they do want him to add on what he needs to add on. And so I do think that, I think Jeremiah Hurd is adding 13 pounds is actually, you know what? It's not a big deal. He's not going to play enough. I take it back. He's not going to play enough.
All right. Changing gears there.
I know immediately on the fly, but I thought about it and I'm like, I think he put on the weight that's part of him just trying to develop, but I don't think he's going to develop enough to play this year.
The next guy had the biggest weight differential of anybody on the roster. Hot or cold? Brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning at cityheatandair.com.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
There's your man.
Okay, so this next young man had a major change in his body. Bennett Warren lost 17 pounds. I wouldn't say
That's hot.
because I can't believe we're talking about men losing. But anyway, and that's hot. But anyway, the bottom line is you lose 17 pounds, then you were told to lose 17 pounds. No football player accidentally loses 17 pounds in an off season. Maybe during the season, you'd be surprised how much how much weight these guys can lose during football season, but nobody's told to lose 17 pounds unless they needed to in the off season.
Yes, exactly. And particularly, you're told that if there's a coaching staff that's very invested in you being successful, so they're going to spend more time on you specifically. Bennett Warren lost 17 pounds, and I think is going to be the third tackle in this rotation with Larry Johnson gone. I think you're going to see Lance Hurd and David Sanders, and Bennett Warren will be the guy to step in for either of them now if one gets hurt or if one needs a break or whatever. And I think Bennett Warren is going to be your primary tackle off the bench now. Honestly,
Brian Gant losing 12 pounds. That doesn't do a lot for me.
Brian Grant losing 12 pounds. Yes, he is down to 325 as well. I just don't think he's going to play a lot this year, so it doesn't really matter.
Now, one that I'd keep an eye on if he gained or lost, because I would assume the trainers and he are on board to do this, is David Hobbs losing 10 pounds. Again, you lose double-digit weight. They ask you to. I didn't think David Hobbs was heavy coming in. He's added some muscle. You could really, in 1 year of college football, be talking about, physically a 20-pound flip-flop. 10 pounds of added muscle, 10 pounds of lost fat. I mean, that's possible nowadays. So, it used to be back in the day when freshmen couldn't play, they'd strip you down. You'd lose as much weight and then add it back. But we all know now that you can do a little bit of both. Just look at me. But David Hobbs losing 10 pounds. I got a feeling he gained 10 pounds. I think it's pretty impressive.
Here's the thing. I think the problem with David Hobbs is they don't know how they want to use him yet. Do they want to use him as the Tyree West, Dominic Bailey type of end on the line in the 4-point stance, or do they want him to trim all the way down and become an edge rusher like James Pierce, Joshua, or Jordan Ross? Now, he'd have to lose a lot more weight for that. He's 290 pounds now.
He's not going to play. He's not going to play end.
Yeah, so I think that the 4-point stance is where they're at, but I think they're worried David Hobbs is a tweener. And I don't think he's going to get the experience this year anyway, because again, you got Tyree West, who's going to, I think, explode onto the scene this year. So I
think it'll be this year's Tyree West, which is play 12 snaps a game. It's pretty significant.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, he's going to stay on the edge, and they still have Dominic Bailey and Tyree Weathersby. So I have a hard, unless David Hobbs plays in the middle, and I don't think he's playing in the middle now because he got down to 290. I think you want your defensive tackles to be at 300.
Yeah, I think he's going to be Josh Heupel's first slot inside guy. I let's say, for instance, it's 3rd and 12, but obviously passing down. I think he'll be a part of a package where he goes in and tackle.
Okay, I could see that.
That before. That's what Chuck Smith and the Vols were trying to do at LSU.
Oh man,
in a pass rushing package, and suddenly they sent 38 defensive linemen out on the field.
Are you sure it was only 38?
You're right. Let me go at 1, 2, 3. It's 500. Boo Carter added 5 pounds. I'm totally cool with this because I don't think Boo Carter has any sort of eating disorder. I think he gained 5 pounds because he needed to gain 5 pounds, and he is not the type of guy where it's going to affect his speed. So
that's hot.
I'm all about that. These skill position players that put on the 5 or 10, we saw Jalen Hyatt do that. I think we've seen Mike Matthews at some point. Maybe I'm wrong, but we see the skill position players put on weight and fill out. That's part of going from 17, 18 to 18, 19, right?
Oh, I totally agree. But you worry that that they hadn't done it yet sometimes with freshmen, or that they wouldn't. And so Boo Carter doing it, I put him on here for a reason. He's at 200 now. I think this will allow him to hit a little more in the secondary too. And also take a few hits as he becomes a Heisman candidate by, getting 500 yards of offense and 5 interceptions on defense.